Hi everybody, I am Elisha Christopher and I'm so grateful that you're tuning in. It is another beautiful day here in my garden and I would love for you to begin with me, as I always love to begin, by taking a few deep breaths. So if you will, exhale first and breathe everything in. And then let it go. Take another deep breath in and let it go. Taking another deep breath in and letting go. And so I want to talk today about finding your flow. I know that so many of us right now find ourselves in this experience of shelter in place where we are staying at home. And many people aren't going to work, and if you are, you're working from home. You know, I've seen so many of our news commentators and all the people on the internet are talking, are you wearing pants? You know, because people's schedules, their routines have been broken. And I want to say, first of all, that I think that on many levels, it is the continuous participation in the rhythms of the world as demanded by us that has kept many of us, in a way, somewhat asleep. Because if you're waking up to an alarm every day and going to a job and working a specific number of hours and your entire life is dictated around something that is not actually your physical self, but a demand from the outside, it taxes and weighs on an individual's system, and over time it really breaks down our health and our mental well-being. And also, on some level, that sense of schedule and rhythm, even though it's kept us maybe a little bit distracted, it's also kept us with a sense of normalcy and consistency in our lives. And many of us have been very comfortable and happy with that rhythm of normalcy and consistency. And right now we all find ourselves at home in this time of stillness where the world is moving a little bit more slowly, and we're all re-experiencing how to kind of be with ourselves and with our day. And perhaps it's the schedule, the routine, that has really kept us distracted. And that, as I said yesterday, the earth is much quieter right now. And so I want to invite this to be a time for all of us to really begin to breathe deep and to listen to ourselves, to our hearts, to our inspirations, to our desires. And instead of living on a routine or a schedule, begin to build a flow. What does it look like to have a flow that begins the way that you want it to start, for your day to wake up perhaps with a spiritual practice or an exercise? I love to wake up in the morning and drink coffee and watch my kale plants grow, honestly. And it is one of the most beautiful things for me to just sit and be in the morning. And then as I sit and be, I feel the inspiration of what it is that I want to do next. And there's a way for all of us in this time to sort of break out of the monotony of the routine and begin to discover a flow. Begin to discover a way to move through the day that's not dictated by an outside schedule that's being demanded on you, but live your life based on the rhythms and the flows that you feel from within yourself. That perhaps we can all begin to learn that it's okay to take a nap in the middle of the afternoon, or it's okay to schedule out a certain number of meals in a certain way that actually feels like it fits us and not just where it fits into the routine. That what if our personal care for ourselves became necessary in order for us to not lose our minds in the monotony of being at home, not knowing what to do because our schedules are broken? So what if we throw away our schedules and then begin to use this time to step into flow, where we each start to slow down a little bit and actually feel into, what are the projects I want to be working on today? What do I feel inspired to do today? Who do I want to talk to? And maybe it's not about doing the same things at the same time every day, but doing similar things at similar times. We're finding ways of engaging with yourself where every day is a new exploration. And instead of seeing each day as the same mundane monotony, to see each day as an opportunity to explore where your soul and your mind and your heart and your body wants to go throughout whatever possible experience could come up, because many of us are not locked into our schedules right now. And I've struggled with depression and anxiety and seasonal depression throughout my life, and there was a point where I had to realize that just because I have a seasonally affective depressive experience where in the winter time, when it's darker and the days are shorter and I'm not getting as much sunlight and I can't be outside as much, that I start to go into an experience of depression, and that some of those struggles come up for me. And at some point in my life, I had to realize, what if my seasonal affective disorder isn't a disorder, but I am actually someone who can live and feel with the rhythms of the season, and that it's okay to permit myself to have less energy in the wintertime and more energy in the summertime, to feel more, to experience more pleasure in life in the summer than I do in the winter, because I acknowledge that the earth is a living thing that I am part of, and it has ebbs and flows of seasons. And what if I learn to live my life based on those ebbs and flows and seasons, and no longer pathologize the energy rise or the energy fall as mania or depression, and actually call it an attention to flow, and feeling the energy of who I am, and the energy of life and nature and the seasons around me, and that my energy moves with those waves, and that I am actually part of this thing that I'm connected to. And so I want to invite all of us to use this time where things are a little quieter and our schedules are not as solidly in place, to begin to see what it feels like to breathe deeply and sense into our flow, sense into our intuition, sense into our longings, and allow those things to start to percolate as our activity of the day, and as our thinking, and as our choosing of what to do next. Because this time can lead us into creating new patterns that don't work for ourselves and that lock us into new ways of being locked in. Or we can use this time as a way of restructuring how we want to be in the world when all of the demands from outside aren't on top of us, and that we can really dictate for ourselves individually, each one, how we want to move in the world and through each day. And then when the world comes back online and all of the demands start to come back up, we may want to address them differently, or interact with the world in a way that we couldn't have seen before without this time of restructuring, of reinvention and contemplation and realigning. And so I invite you to use this time of stillness while you're in your shelter in place to begin to look for your flow, to allow the schedules and the routines to fall away in a sense, that are replaced by a flow that actually moves and nurtures and heals and soothes you in a powerful way. So find your flow. Go do it today. Start right now. And so I just want to say thank you for tuning in. If you're enjoying what you hear, please subscribe to my channel, click the little button down there, or share this with a friend, someone who you think might be willing to hear it. Love and blessings, and I'll see you tomorrow.